Call of Duty game tier list. So this is one of the most iconic FPS franchises of all time. Every gamer has probably played a Call of Duty at some point in their life. If they haven't played it, they've heard it. So let's get right into it. So our criteria for today, I'd say, were multiplayer first and foremost, because every Call of Duty has some form of multiplayer gameplay. Number two is probably going to be the extra shit outside of multiplayer, so microtransactions, camos, skins, and whatnot. Mastery camos, kind of, outside of the gameplay, what there is to offer and how it affects the game. And then we're going to go extra game mode, which some is zombies, some is survival, some are different shit, extinction, whatnot. And then the last thing is single player campaign. I think Call of Duty is kind of underrated for that. Some of these campaigns were fucking amazing, some were kind of dog shit. We'll get into that. And then also I think replayability / nostalgia you can factor in. How did this game age over time? So first one is an interesting one. We're going to go B tier for COD Mobile. It's not like a main release COD. It's probably the only non-main release COD on this list. Well, okay. One of two non-main release CODs on this list. And I don't know, it's just fun. I mean, you can play it anywhere. Play it on your phone. It does play very smoothly for a mobile game. And it's just a lot of fun. Like, it's cheap fun. It's more arcadey than some of these other Call of Duties. Ghosts. I'm going to go B tier for Ghosts. So, the campaign was solid. Get that out of the way. Interesting storyline. Multiplayer, I think, had good gunplay. I think the fast time to kill was good, but the SATCOM was the stupidest fucking idea in COD history. Whoever thought of that better be fucking fired, or should have been fired for that shit. The rest of the kill streaks were okay. They weren't bad. The color scheme was very dull, and the maps were slow, because they kind of designed this with the 9v9 in mind. So I'd say that's what I'd say about the multiplayer. But Extinction, I think, is probably the most interesting part of this game, because I enjoyed it personally. Some people might not have, but it was interesting innovation, and it got really challenging and team oriented, especially if you played the harder DLC ones, like Awakening and shit. Man, those were fun, and there are different ways to play that, and I think it was very replayable. Advanced Warfare C tier. I'm sorry, but I honestly I never played this fucking campaign, so I can't relate to that at all. And then we got the multiplayer, which honestly the movement I wasn't that mad about. It was interesting to say the least. They try to innovate. I don't fault them for that. The modern aspect, obviously, Advanced Warfare does sound modern, but the thing was there were microtransactions known as loot crates in this game, and you could straight up have a gun with better stats than someone else and just theoretically pay to win, which I don't know, just the idea of that was not fun. The kill streaks were okay, I would say. And then they had exosuit zombies, which probably one of the worst non-Treyarch zombies renditions. It's always kind of refreshing to play non-Treyarch zombies just to see, other people's take on the concept. But this one, I don't think did it well. So overall, C tier. Our first S tier of the day, Black Ops 3. So to start off, the campaign was solid. I only played it one time, but I didn't hate it. Multiplayer, they changed the movement slightly from AW. They made it more like Titanfall, so it's jumps with jetpacks and wall rides. The kill streaks were pretty cool. I had a pick 10 system for the class making. I had specialists. It was just a fun multiplayer. The maps were good too. The zombies was the best zombies of all time. I mean, if you haven't watched my zombies tier list, go watch that shit. I got some interesting opinions, but Black Ops 3, the best zombies engine ever. C tier. So the one bright side of this game is probably the zombies. To be honest, zombies in Spaceland is a great map. There's Rave in the Redwoods. Rave in the Redwoods. It's hard to say. Okay. There's some other ones. Attack of the Radioactive Thing. Not a terrible take on zombies, But the one thing was, I think this multiplayer was not good. There were no guns that stood out to me. Had the same movement system as Black Ops 3. They got kind of weird with some of their extra like specialty weapons, which I thought was interesting to say the least. They didn't have. I don't remember. Were there loot crates in this game? There might have been. There were loot crates in Black Ops 3, which some guns you could only get from loot crates. But I digress. I never played this multiplayer or this campaign, so it's gonna be C tier. I'm sorry. If you are an IW enjoyer. A tier, first A tier of the day is gonna be World War II. So this campaign was fucking sick. I love this campaign so much. So that's a positive for it. The multiplayer was boots on the ground, which was good. Still had the fast time to kill, classic COD feel. Some World War II themed kill streaks. But the one thing that brought it down was the fucking create a class system. This is like probably second to the SATCOM and like worst ideas in Call of Duty history. Like who the fuck thought like I don't even know what they called it. I don't remember. But basically, like, you had to pick, like, it was kind of like Battlefield, like, Engineer Assault, except there were only, like, specific weapons or, like, gadgets you could use for that class, but it was way worse because there weren't a lot of options. It just fucking sucked. And then the zombies was very good in this game as well. It was kind of like a horror aspect, more so, and they also, like, guided you through the basic Easter eggs on every map, which was a good idea. Definitely an interesting take on non-Treyarch zombies, which I enjoyed. Black Ops 4. So I like this game more than most people. The multiplayer, they pivoted a little bit. They made the time to kill longer. They took away self-healing, so you have to heal yourself. They still had specialists. They had the same kill streaks, but the thing was, it also had loot crates. But the thing was, the loot crates didn't like make you give you an advantage. I mean, there were different melee weapons, which was okay. That was kind of cool. And the zombies in this game, kind of hated. They weren't great on launch, but I think the engine was good. They kind of deviated a little bit from the classic Treyarch zombies feel, which people didn't like, but I didn't mind it. It was a decent zombies, average zombies at best. But the thing that really brought this game up was the Blackout. So this is like their first battle royale. People forget about it because, well, we'll get into the next one, I guess. I'm peeking ahead, but this battle royale was fun as fuck. The looting was a little clunky, but me and my friends played the fuck out of it. I don't know what it was. It just played well. Warzone. So this was the next battle royale. It came out like a year and a half later, 2020. I remember actually the day this came out. It was when they canceled class because of COVID. And I played this all fucking day. It was so much fun. And this kind of like saved Call of Duty, if you ask me, because they had a dry spell there. I mean, Modern Warfare was a good game, but this kind of saved it because it came out in the middle of that game's timeline, and everyone fucking played it just free to play. That's such a good idea. It's a battle royale that we're trending like the past few years, and it just plays well. The looting's simple, straightforward, and just anyone can pick this up and play it if they played a shooter before. 2019 Modern Warfare. I'm torn between A and B. I'm gonna go A. So this game was really fun. I remember my friends like got it just because they're like, oh, we see people playing this game, we want to have fun. We don't want to be left out. Like severe FOMO. I was like, okay, I'll play with you guys. I had Ground War, which was I've expressed my thoughts on that in my multiplayer tier list. Watch that if you haven't. It was basically conquests with kill streaks. And then this really innovated in the attachment system. So you could have like 5 attachments on your guns, and it felt like really realistic for a COD, I should say. And the guns looked amazing. The campaign was also pretty solid as well. All the Modern Warfare campaigns were decent. I don't think they've really missed with that. This is a tough one for me. I'm gonna go A. Fuck it. I enjoyed this game. I think that multiplayer was underrated. They had the same attachment system as Modern Warfare. It wasn't as nearly as good, but it was similar. Obviously, Cold War era guns, and also had a decent campaign set in that time period. And then they had good kill streaks as well. They had the Fire Team game mode. I forget what it was called, but that was fun. And then they had zombies, which kind of polarizing. People didn't like how easy it was. I personally did not mind that shit whatsoever because I had fun. It was kind of more arcadey, but it was also had like the same Treyarch Zombies feel to it. So overall, A-tier game. Ah, shit. Hang on. I was unprepared. I forgot this was a thing. All right, next game. Yeah, these three I haven't played. So next game, B-tier Modern Warfare. So this kind of innovated. It had a first grade class system. It had kill streaks, just standard set. It had some broken ass shit that you could run, like stopping power. Kind of set the precedent for modern COD, which I think is the one pro for it. It also had a really fucking insane campaign, some great campaign missions. This is the reason this game was remastered, and the campaign was fucking spectacular. Did they have? I don't remember if they had Spec Ops in this game, but if they did, that's a good game mode as well. So just an iconic Call of Duty. World at War, I'm gonna put the same tier because there wasn't much like improvement I'd say from COD 4. It was World War II themed, which pretty fucking sick, as we've gone over before. The campaign was good, and also it was the first Call of Duty with zombies, which I think is the main pro of this COD. They sparked everything that is Treyarch Zombies. How iconic is that shit? I mean, you can't really fault them if their zombies was bad, because they kind of set the playing field, and I don't think Call of Duty would be the same without this game. Shit. A tier. Modern Warfare 2. Some people put it S tier. They say it's favorite COD of all time. You're full of fucking shit, dude. Think about it. The only reason you have it that high is because of nostalgia, which you're allowed to factor in. I'll give you that. But the thing is, this game didn't really like innovate on that much. I mean, kill streaks, I'd say it did. That's the one thing. But it was broken as shit like the other Call of Duties. There's some stupid shit you could do. Your kills counted towards nukes, which was fun. But like, as a whole, I think it's just an A tier COD. The campaign was cool too. It was a really good campaign. They remastered it for a reason. All the Modern Warfare campaigns were good, like I said. It also had Spec Ops, which was an awesome game mode. But overall, A tier COD. Because think about it. If I'm going to go back and play a Call of Duty, I don't think I've played this game in the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years because I've had no reason to go back and play it. Black Ops S tier. The zombies were amazing in this game. Very nostalgic for most people. Some good DLC maps, some underrated DLC maps, if you ask me. Decent engine. The multiplayer was good. It had I really like the Vietnam Cold War era theme. That's like a really underrated theme for games. Had some cool kill streaks. I don't know if I said that. Decent guns. And then the campaign was pretty fucking sick, honestly. This was probably the best of the Black Ops campaigns. It was also the first one. But it's just such an iconic COD. I think this one kind of, Modern Warfare 2 / Black Ops, those two kind of sparked the quote unquote golden era of COD when everyone played it. MW3 S tier. That's an easy one. So it kind of improved on MW2. There were more guns you could use, less broken. It felt better to play. Smoother, I should say. Added the specialist system for dropping nukes on these noobs. The kill streaks were good. It had survival as an extra game mode, which was pretty fucking sick, especially when you did the harder difficulties. When you have like, it was maximum of 2 people, so you just get a friend that's fucking cracked at the game, and you guys sweat your dick off shooting against NPCs. Had an awesome campaign as well. As is the theme with all the Modern Warfares. And I would go back and play this game before I played Modern Warfare 2. That's why it's S tier, and Modern Warfare 2 is not. Another S tier. A lot of people regard this as the best Call of Duty of all time, which I think that's a valid argument. So the campaign was average at best, I'd say. It was cool how you could have different endings, but to be honest, there's not much memorable about it other than that. Maybe Woods playing the drums when you start the band. The multiplayer was probably one of the best. It was the first Call of Duty with the Pick-10 system. And it was also like probably one of the most balanced CODs of all time. You could use any gun and excel. I mean, some were obviously better than others. They also added ranked play to this game, which I remember this kind of like sparked the whole idea of competitive COD. And I remember watching this way back when, and I thought it was fucking sick. And then that's not even mentioning the zombies, which also were fucking sick. I think the Black Ops 2 engine kind of sucked because it was kind of like on last gen. It was one of the last ones on the Xbox 360, excuse me. Um, and I think they just kind of like got a little too ambitious with some of their ideas in the engine, but the maps were fucking bangers. Some of the best maps ever for zombies. So it's a little early to rank this. I'll be interested to see how this ages, but for now, I'd say it's B tier. It's the problem with these Modern Warfare games is they're kind of like paralleled with Warzone. Warzone's kind of a part of the game, um, so it's unfair to like give them an extra game mode. I'd say. To be honest, I never fucking played the campaign in this game. I don't even know if there was, so I can't rate it there. So that's probably why it's B tier. But the multiplayer is good. It feels like Modern Warfare 2019. Bunch of guns, bunch of attachments. If you're a gun nut, this game is for you. So overall, I'd say this is a solid list. Very middle heavy, as is the theme with my zombies, because I don't think there's like a terrible Call of Duty. These games were all pretty solid, other than ones that we're not going to talk about in this video. But like I said, everyone's played Call of Duty at some point, every gamer at least, or has heard of it. One of the most iconic shooters of all time, and I'll be excited to see what they have in store for our next one. Peace.